LeBron James wore an I Can't Breathe shirt for the Nets game. Thank God he spelled it right. Rolling Stone magazine has backpedaled from its horrific story about an alleged gang rape at the University of Virginia. After publishing the deeply disturbing article about a freshman assault at UVA, the magazine has acknowledged discrepancies in the young woman's account, which cast doubt on her assertions. Rolling Stone is issuing an apology saying, "We should have not made this agreement with Jackie, and we should have worked harder to convince her that the truth would have been better served by getting the other side of the story. These mistakes are on Rolling Stone, not on Jackie." Because it's here. We've got Hadley Heath Manning. She's in the house, along with Charlamagne the God. They're both back, and we are joined now by Julie Roginski. She is a Fox News contributor and a delightful human.
Thank you.
So, ladies, gentlemen, let us devour. Julie, I'm going to give you the first crack at this one.
This is depressing.
Yeah.
The whole story. Why are we talking about? I'm so bummed. I don't want to talk about this. This is depressing.
Because it's really important, because it's an issue that
but you know what's important?
Puts young men in a bad position.
I agree. You know what my theory's always been, and it's kind of controversial? I don't think you should, and Rolling Stone did not do this, but I don't think you should disclose the names of alleged rapists until they're convicted, because you could ruin anybody's life that way.
The problem is, you don't have to be convicted to be kicked out of school.
That's my point.
That's
my point, right?
As a man, you know, we are guilty until proven innocent when it comes to rape. And I've actually had this situation happen to me back in 2001. I had a young lady who said that I sexually assaulted her. I didn't touch her. But, you know, you get arrested for, you know, criminal sexual conduct, and then you got to give saliva and you got to give DNA samples just to prove that you didn't touch this young lady, but your name is already smeared.
That's a scary process to go through. And my worry is that it stigmatizes women who really should come forward and talk about these.
Right. We know this issue is plagued by almost two opposite problems. There are some victims of rape who don't want to come forward, probably because of exactly what's happening now with the Rolling Stone story. Once your story is called into account, even details, if there's any inaccuracy in the account, it calls the whole story into question. And then on the other hand, we do have the issue of false accusations, which is unfair to young men who have to go through this ordeal.
And people assume that these alleged perpetrators are guilty. And, you know, if I were a young woman and this had happened to me, I would worry about coming forward, you know, that I would be made into a pariah. And that's why I think Rolling Stone is so incredibly irresponsible here. Eugene Bullock, who is a law professor at UCLA, go Bruins, he said, you know what, this fraternity that was named in the story, they've got a case.
Some people are already lawyering up at the fraternity, and they should. This is totally on Rolling Stone. This is not on Jackie even this much. I mean, if you're going to publish an allegation like that and an omniscient description that was so horrifying that lots of people who I respect said ban all fraternities within like 2 seconds of reading this thing. It was so terrible, and they didn't do anything to verify any of it. They didn't ask the people that they quoted omnisciently saying horrible things to this woman, who were allegedly their friends. They didn't do any of that. It is an atrocious piece of journalism. It sets all kinds of conversations
And what's so horrible about it is this goes on college campuses. Really, rape does go in sexual assault. It does happen on college campuses every single day. And now what this does is cast doubt on anybody who comes forward again, as Hadley says. That's why I think the whole thing is depressing.
Another reason why you shouldn't go to college. Columbia Law School students are getting off the hook for examinations if the trauma of recent events in Ferguson, Missouri have left them too emotional to sit down for tests. You might think, would I want to hire an attorney who is incapacitated by bad news? Maybe one very, very crafty photo lawyer taught the administration into letting him skip his test. And I would hire that smooth talker, because that person is brilliant. Columbia said in a statement, quote, students who feel that their performance on examinations will be sufficiently impaired due to the effects of these recent events may petition Dean Alice Regas to have an examination rescheduled. Now, Charlamagne, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't go to law school, but I wouldn't want my lawyer to dissolve into an emotional puddle in the courtroom if some of the evidence became too much to bear.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the law of energy. Like, energy is never lost or destroyed. It's merely transferred from one party to the next. So if you're feeling negative, I don't want you in the courtroom being negative while you're representing me. You know? So, yes, go be happy and come back when you're happier.
Yeah, and you're a lawyer, right, Julie?
No, please. Don't insult me that way.
She's a political consultant. She does honorable work.
I don't have any real skills. I give advice for a living. No, but boo-hoo, guess what I had to do on Thursday when I was depressed over Eric Garner? I got up and I did my political consulting thing, and I went to work, and I did the same thing on 9/11, and I did the same thing on 9/12, and man, I hate the phrase man up, but man up.
Grow a pair.
Grow a pair, Columbia students.
If anything else, use it. You know, if you're a law student and you want to make a difference in the world because you think our criminal justice system is screwed up, use this as your fuel.
The world is filled with bad news. It's hard being a lawyer.
Yeah, you can't stay in every time.
It's going to be tough.
You can't stay in every time something bad happens.
Yeah,
you just can't do it.
I think this makes Columbia look just awful, and Harvard is going, our students are taking tests.
You didn't ask one important question either, Kennedy, when it came to that rape situation.
What's that?
Where was Bill Cosby in all of this?
Serving drinks.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. All right, you can like us on Facebook right now. I command you. And follow me on Twitter. I'm organizing you into an army.